Okay, this is X14 and it's obviously the trial version. Should work the same in any X12, X13, and X14, but I haven't checked that. I'm just working in X14 because it's the most recent. I put in a, and this is, I believe, a complete default out of the box installation. The only thing I've changed in the user interface, I think, is to make these icons a little bigger so I can see them. So everything, these cabinets and everything should be just out of the box, whatever the chief defaults are. So I placed a full height and 3 base cabinets, and there's no, I'm just doing this for demonstration. There's no requirement that you need to do this. You put in any cabinet that you want, and I'll put in a wall cabinet, before this is over, so we can play with it a little bit. But I've got a little toolbar here that I made, and I'll show you how that you can extend this and how to add tools or icons, whatever you want to call these things. And I've created some style pallets that are just stored in the library. These are just standard style pallets. There's nothing tricky about them. I've got a dishwasher here because I'm just going to use that as part of this demo. So if I want to, and I think the idea here is that there's sort of 3 ways to do this, probably more, but I'm going to say 3. The first is that you place cabinets in your plan just like I've done here, and then you open up your cabinet and you make changes to it. You change whatever you need, and then you say okay, and then that cabinet's changed. Width, height, door, drawer, color, whatever you want to do. And you might set that to default and then, add some more cabinets and keep going like that. So you would sort of open each cabinet and make it the way you want. The other way that I think people have done this in the past was that you would have a set of cabinets already built in the library. So if you wanted a 3-drawer cabinet, you just come over here to the library and you'd pick your, you go to your cabinets area and you'd pick a 3-drawer cabinet and you'd plop that in plan, and then you'd maybe open it up and change the width on it. But using style pallets is a little different. You start out with default cabinets, and then you apply a style to them. At least that's the way I'm going to phrase this. So, for example, if I wanted a 3-drawer cabinet, I've got a style palette that's a base 3 drawers. So I'm going to click that. You can see it here. And I'm just going to click on one of these, doesn't matter which one. And that makes it into a base with a pre-configured 3 drawers. And notice also that this one happens to be a face frame cabinet. Now maybe you want this cabinet to be a single door. And so over here I have a nope. Base single door. You can't even see it. If I click this, there's the cabinet. I can click on any one of these. I'm going to click this one and it makes it a single door. Now look what it does when I click on this one over here. It makes it a single door, but it keeps it as a face frame. So that kind of thing is just something you have to be aware of. Now let's say I want to put these cabinets back to the default. I've messed around with them and it's not what I want, so I just want to start over with the default. So over here I've got a base default. So I can click that, and it puts it back to the default. So now I'm back to these three cabinets that are default. Maybe I want one with no toe kick. So I've got a base no kick. And it just happens to look like this because I just copied the 3-drawer base cabinet and changed the style palette to just modify the toe kick. So I can click there and there's no toe kick. You know, click there, click there. Now this little toolbar I made, I only have 3 tools in it right now. One of them's a full door, one of them's a 3-drawer, and this one turns them back into the default. And these are really hard to see. I can't zoom in on these, but they're really hard to see in the default. But if you come over here and you double click this, you can change some things, and one of those things is the image. And this is just an image file. It's not a icon. It's just a plain image file. And you can click browse down here and go out and browse to find anything. You can use the automatic image that Chief generates for you. I created this image, and I really shortcutted this creation process, and I'll show you that now, but I'm going to cancel out of this. This is X12. And I used X12 because I can save things out of X12 if I need to. And so this is just a base cabinet that represents the default. And it's a watercolor. Now, it's a watercolor. Line drawing on top. I've made the lines red. I've increased the line weight. I've turned extend and squiggle down to 0. And I've turned on line weights here. It's going to have to redraw. So it looks like having the line weights on doesn't matter. So anyway, all I did was I took a screen capture of this in a, just a screen capture program, and then I reduced the size of it to, I think, 128 by 128. And then that's what I used for this icon right here, this tool. So that's a really quick and dirty way of creating something like this. And I just wanted to try this to see if I could make something that was easier to see, because these white images on a white background with some gray lines in them just don't read very good. So I can put a dishwasher in here. I can turn it back to the default. Let's go up a little bit. Maybe you want to make these into a island or a peninsula with an overhanging counter. So I've got this base counter 12-inch extended. You can see that over here. So I can click on that and it extends the countertop. I can click on this, base counter default, and that puts the countertops back to whatever the default was. These cabinets all come in with the hinges on the right. Looks like that got a gotta click on the right thing. It looks like that got a toe kick or toe kick delete, and it wasn't supposed to for some reason. Anyway, the chief cabinets all come in with the hinges on the right, and so I often want to change that. So there's a style palette that all it does is changes the door hinge. I've got this upper or this tall cabinet here, full door hinge left. I can click this, I can click this, and now those hinges are on the left. Here's a style palette that takes a full height cabinet and puts an oven in it. Basically, it just rebuilds the whole cabinet. That's not a very good representation. That's not very accurate. Your oven probably wouldn't be down at the bottom. So let's open this. Right click, open object. Over here it's a full cabinet, so I'm going to open that. And this is just a standard cabinet dialog. This is what you get at any time. So I'm going to click down here at this bottom, and I'm going to add new. And let's make it some drawers. I'm just going to make it 24. And it's a little bit wide. So let's make it 32. And we need some space in here, so let's go back over here. And it's not going to do anything. What this needs to be is maybe a blank area. Let's make this a blank area and make it 2 inches. I don't do much with cabinets. Let's take this and split horizontal. Let's say OK. Say OK. And there you go. So you could start out with just a standard base cabinet. You don't have to worry about anything about it, basically. You just need a cabinet standing there. And then you can have a style sheet over here that builds the cabinet any way you want. I don't know why this, it snaps side to side, but it won't snap front to back. So let's see if we can do that. Alright, so there's an upper cabinet. So I'm going to stick another one in there. Now I want this door to hinge on the other side. So we're going to go up here to User Catalog, New, Style Sheet. Let's try that again. New, Style Palette. I don't know what I clicked on. Add Object, Wall Cabinet. Okay, here it opens up. So I'm going to click this, change it from Auto Right to Auto Left. Say OK. I'm going to click Set Properties. I'm going to clear all. You've got a bunch of things checked over here. I'm going to clear all these things. One of my complaints about this is you don't always know what things are called. And I think what we want is copy face configuration. That doesn't make much sense to me, but I think that's what needs to be checked here. So I've unchecked everything because I only want to change the face. So I'll say OK. You say OK. And then it looks like that did it. New style palette. It's important to name these. Let's make this one glass door wall cabinet. And I'm going to say OK. I'm going to set properties. I'm going to clear. I'm going to search for glass. And I'm going to say yes. I don't know if this will work. I've never done this. So I'm just going to say has glass doors. I'm going to put a check mark there and say OK. And then OK. And then OK. Looks like that didn't do anything. So open this. Open object. Go to door drawer. Use default. I would think glass doors would be an option. Now you see it changes over here. So has glass doors is true. So maybe I need to copy face configuration as well. Let's try that. And it's like it wants to do it. So let's try one other thing. I'm going to select all. This is kind of brute force. But that did it. So there's something that just needs to be set that I'm not setting. Now let's see if this works. I want to flip this door back around. And I think that's this that I didn't name. Yep. So you can just name these like you can anything else. Upper, and hinge left. Alright, this little toolbar, you can just drag these. You can drag any of these toolbars wherever you want them, and they'll either float out here, or you can dock them to the sides, to the bottom. So to change these, customize toolbars, search for place, and then you have to search again for some reason. Place library object. And just drag this up here. And what it did was it created a new toolbar, and that's not what I want. So I want to drag this over here. Like that. Sometimes it's easier if you just drag this down here. And then you can put a couple of these in here. Like that. And then say close. You can grab the edge of this, make it more square. Double click one of these, or single click. I'll just do this upper hinge left. And so you want to choose automatic image, or browse and go out to where you have your own image. And I'm gonna see what this does. I think this is the tooltip. So we'll see if that works. So upper hinge left. Okay, so I'm going to mouse over this, and it says upper hinge left. This one just says Style Palette. So I'm going to double click on it. And this is a 3-drawer base. And okay. Now when I hover it over, it says 3-drawer base. So you can put anything, like this professional dishwasher I've got right here. So let's go over here, user catalog, professional dishwasher. Say okay. Automatic. There's 2 images on this one you can choose. I'm going to choose automatic 2. Professional dishwasher, say OK. Now I've got that dishwasher. So if I click that, I can put a dishwasher there. If I click this, I can put it back to where it was. If I click this, I can revert that to defaults. Make that a single door, that a single door. I can come over here and pick base, hinge left. That doesn't work because it changes the whole thing back to a left door. So I think you could fix that where it worked correctly. But I'm not sure because I just haven't spent enough time with this. This was just a really quick dive into what you can do with style pallets and cabinets. If this is interesting, I would encourage you to read up on it and figure this stuff out for yourself.